Parasocial relationships. Describe and evaluate one or more explanations of parasocial relationships. So obviously just pick two. Um, Levels of parasocial relationships. CAS assesses celebrity attraction. This is the celebrity attitude scale. It was used by researchers to identify three levels of parasocial relationships. The three levels are entertainment, social, intense personal level, and borderline pathological level. Number one, entertainment social level. The first level is entertainment social level. This is the least intense level where celebrities are viewed as sources of entertainment and fuel for social interaction. The intense personal level. The second level is intense personal level, and intermediate level, where someone becomes more personally involved with a celebrity, and this may include obsessive thoughts, for example, changing your hair to match a celebrity. Borderline pathological level. This is the strongest level of celebrity worship, where fantasies are uncontrollable and behavior is more extreme. The absorption addiction level. The absorption addiction model explains parasocial relationships in terms of people's deficiencies. McThean suggests that parasocial relationships can make up for personal deficiencies, for example, a lack of fulfillment. Parasocial relationships also provide an escape from mundane lives. People may be triggered towards a higher level by stressful life events such as bereavement. The model has two components: absorption and addiction. So absorption is seeking fulfillment in celebrity worship and motivates an individual to focus their attention on the celebrity, to become so obsessed in the celebrity's existence and identify with them. Addiction. Like a physiological addiction, the individual needs to increase their dose of involvement to gain satisfaction. This may lead to more extreme behaviors such as delusional thinking. The attachment theory explanation. This theory links early attachment problems to parasocial relationships. Bowlby's attachment theory suggests that early difficulties in attachment may lead to difficulties in forming successful relationships in later life. Such difficulties may lead to preference for parasocial relationships to replace those within one social circle, as parasocial relationships do not require the same social skills. Insecure attachment types are linked to parasocial relationships. Ainsworth identified two attachment types associated with unhealthy emotional development: insecure resistant and insecure avoidant. Insecure resistant types are most likely to form parasocial relationships because they want to have their unfulfilled needs met in a real relationship where there's no threat of rejection. Insecure avoidant types prefer to avoid the pain and rejection of any type of relationship, either social or parasocial. AO3 evaluation. One strength is research support for the absorption addiction model. Researchers studied female adolescents who reported an intense personal relationships with a female celebrity's body shape they admired. Those females tend to have a poor body image. They often a precursor to an eating disorder. This study shows a correlation between the level of celebrity worship and different disordered psychological functioning. This increases the validity of the absorption addiction model as an explanation of parasocial relationships. One limitation of the absorption addiction model is it lacks explanatory power. The model describes the characteristics of people at different levels of intensity, but doesn't explain why the different forms develop. This doesn't help us to prevent more dangerous and disturbing forms of parasocial relationship. Therefore, the model is limited in its explanatory power and its application for supporting people whose celebrity worship has become problematic, thus reducing the appropriateness of the theory. One limitation is methodological issues limit the validity of the research. One limitation of most of the research is the methodological issues. They use self-report techniques to collect data, which is problematic because they can be affected by forms of bias, for example, social desirability bias. Most of the studies also use correlational analysis, which means cause and effect conclusions cannot be established. This reduces the validity of the data and means that there's no good evidence to show that parasocial relationships are caused by specific experiences. One limitation to link the attachment theory is the lack of support. Researchers found that participants with insecure attachment were no more likely to form parasocial relationships with celebrities than participants with secure attachment styles. This is the key assumption of the explanation, and failure to support for it raises crucial questions about the explanation's validity. This reduces the validity and support of using attachment theory to explain parasocial relationships because it shows that it has little predictive strength. One strength is the cultural similarities in parasocial relationships. When watching a film or reading a book, audience must interpret and evaluate the content on their own cultural background. Research has investigated whether there would be differences in the parasocial relationships formed with the fictional character Harry Potter in two contrasting cultures, Germany an individualist culture and Mexico a collectivist culture. They found that despite cultural differences, fans from both Mexico and Germany display very similar patterns of parasocial relationships with Harry Potter and other characters from the franchise. Their online survey revealed that fans from both cultures admired Harry Potter and found commonalities between their own lives and relationships and those portrayed in the films and the books, demonstrating the universal influences of mainstream media characters and also increasing the appropriateness of the theory.